Hello, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is QB, and I'm here to try to make a positive community for ladies. Today, I want to talk about positive thinking. I know I've been away for a little while, so I really want to talk about this because I know I'm not the only one that be in our heads too much, especially when there's things going on and everybody's looking at you, right, for the answers, or if it's not you, it won't get done type of situation. So, and we can get on our heads, and we can also get in our heads if we are dating, or if we are with friends or at work or whatever the situation may be. We could get in our heads and we can overthink. So again, speaking from experience, I just wanted to share this with you because I find myself doing this a lot, right? Trying to do a lot less now. Um, but if I do get in my head, I want to try to be as positive as possible. So, having positive words to say to myself, to let me know that it's going to be okay, right? Because, other people can tell us, but we don't really believe it unless, we have to believe it, in our heads. So, but in particular, I want to talk about in a relationship. Now, we all know that I am single, but I do have a friend who takes really good care of me, right? And we was talking, and we was talking about overthinking and how we can get in our heads and we can create a situation that is really not a situation, right? We get in our heads and we start thinking and we start coming up with stuff, and it's not true. So I'm trying to get in the habit of doing more positive thinking because it works out better when you are a little lighter, when you don't have all that heavy stuff weighing you down. Now, I'm not going to say there's never going to be any dark days, because yes, we all have dark days, but you try not to stay in those dark days too long, right? Because staying there too long can, really get you down, and now things that you're supposed to be doing, like taking care of yourself, eating healthier, and you're not doing that anymore because you're in your head and you're overthinking. So, what I started doing is every morning when I wake up, I was in my head think about the things I need to do today, right? And try to strategize how I'm going to do them. And then once I get it done, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I smile, right? Um, and I'm happier because I'm not in my head so much about what I need to do, but let's get out and get it done, right? Um, and just to let you know, right, I'm back on my I need to start walking thing, right? So, because I'm trying to be a healthier me, right? So today I actually walked, and so far I've done 8,663 steps, right? Now, I could either look at that as half full or half empty, right? Because 8,000 steps is a pretty, well, 86,000, let's put it there. It's a pretty good amount of steps, right? But someone may say, girl, that ain't nothing. I did 12,000. Nothing. Haters. People who always have a negative thing to say, or always want to give you the downside of things. Keep them people out your life, because they are the ones who's going to keep you stuck where you are, right? Now back to my steps. I'm going to look at it half full because last week total I did 3,000 steps, right? So just this one day, I done beat all the steps I did last week, right? And guess what? I'm not thinking about tomorrow or how many steps I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to celebrate the steps that I did today, and I'm going to be happy with what I accomplished today, right? Now, we can't go, well, this is what I'm finding out. We can't look too far ahead because it start to weigh you down, right? So you just look and you celebrate the achievements that you've got, right? Achievements that you've done. It's a lot of things in this world that's going to bring you down. It's a lot of things in this world that is going to have you second guessing yourself. It's a lot of people in this world that's going to have you second guess yourself. Don't you be one of them, right? You want to be as positive as you can with yourself, because if you aren't, no one else will. Surround yourself with people that are positive, that's going to encourage you, right? And not give you the why you shouldn't, and girl, that's too hard, and girl, it's going to take you forever. The negative people, get them out of your life, right? Get them out of your life as fast as you can, because you don't really need that negativity in your life, in your ear, telling you what you can do, what you can't do. You can do anything, right? You can do anything if you put your mind to it. My mama used to always tell me that. You can do anything if you put your mind to it, right? So you want to strive to achieve more, right? Because again, there's so much negative stuff going on. There's so much stuff in this world that will get you down. This past week I've been looking at the fires in LA, and oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I'm just like, LA is on fire. And y'all, please explain to me why there's no water in the hydrants, right? My friend told me that it's because they took the water and they dumped it into the Pacific Ocean. And I'm like, well, why would they put water into water to save some fish? So confused. But nevertheless, it's so much negative stuff out there that will get you down and that will have you second guess yourself. Don't you second guess yourself, right? You can do anything, right? Through God, through Christ, right? That strengthens you. That is a passage in the Bible, okay? So you got to keep that in mind, right? Especially when you have another person involved, especially if it's your children. If your children, you want to stay as positive as you can, and to support them and encourage them, right? And how are you supposed to encourage them and support them if you are not encouraging and supporting yourself? You cannot be the best you if you are not the best you. Does that make sense? So you want to try to stay as positive as you can, and spread that positivity, right? Surround yourself in that positivity, because it's needed, especially in these days and time. I was telling my friend the other day, I said, I wish I could go back to the 70s. I want to be grown in the 70s. I was a kid in the 70s, and I wish I was grown. I know in the 70s they had their time and they had their situations, but it seems simpler. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all the craziness that, social media, you didn't have everybody in your business unless you put them in your business. So, nowadays everybody got a phone and there's a camera watching everywhere you go, right? So you want to be with everything that you see, and going outside and to the world, and then so many things can go wrong, but you want to stay as positive as you can, and think positive, right? um Growing up as the little chocolate girl, right? I'm gonna share this story with you. I was thinking whether I should, but I'm gonna share this story with you. Growing up as a little chocolate girl, my dad always told me, "You are so beautiful, and you're so this, and you're so that, and look at my baby." Of course, he's my daddy, and I'm a daddy's girl, so you know what that is. But I didn't grow up with a very positive self-image of myself, because I seen the women on TV, and to be honest with you, they didn't look like me. Now you see more of them now, like the Viola Davises. I love her, and the darker skin complexion models and actresses, and you have more of a positive image. But me growing up, I didn't really have a very good positive self image of myself, right? And over the years, I found myself doubting myself more and more, like, I can't do this. And yes, I would celebrate the victories when I did do it, but I couldn't really get into the celebration of myself, because I was still thinking about, oh my God, what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So I really couldn't enjoy who I was, right? And my accomplishments because I was so busy doubting myself or I don't know, right? But nowadays, I'm not as negative as I used to be. I am more positive. I am more vibrant, if you will. I try to be, I try to think positive every day, right? I try to tell myself that things is not going to always be this way and things will get better, right? So, I don't know. I think positive every day and I give myself motivation to keep going, right? Even when bad things happen, it's like I don't try to stay there too long. I don't try to stay in those dark days too long. I want to get up and I want to get moving and I want to celebrate my small victories. And I feel like we need to do that as women. We need to celebrate our small victories. We need to celebrate our small victories as if they were big victories, right? We need to encourage ourselves and we need to encourage other women to have a better self, a better positive image. Honestly, I think nowadays with the young ladies that are half naked and they got all this 10 ton of makeup and the wigs and everything. And do you remember, for my older ladies, do you remember back in the day, women didn't really wear wigs like that. It was mostly the older women that wore wigs. We didn't wear wigs like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in my world, women didn't really wear wigs until they got older. But now we have the lace front wigs and whatever wigs. I don't wear wigs, so I don't really know the whole details. But you know, um, it. I think the reason why they put on all the makeup and the wigs and they trying to hide something, right? They're trying to cover up something, right? Not to say they're not positive. What I'm saying is the image that they give out is not very positive, especially not for the children. Do you know I seen this post the other day and it was on Facebook and it was of this woman and her child. She bought McDonald's, which I don't know why anybody's still eating McDonald's, but she bought McDonald's, and her son had ate some of the food, and she was yelling, and at first I thought it was like she was joking because she's yelling and actually cussing at the baby about eating her food, and his food is right here, and why did he have to eat my food? And I was like, that is so negative. Like, why are you yelling and cussing at the baby? But see, this is what I'm saying about social media. I don't know if she was doing that for likes or if she was doing that, if that's what she really does. But I didn't find that very motivating. I didn't even find that entertaining. Like, why are you yelling at this baby? I mean, and you're cursing and yelling at this baby. Thank God the baby was a baby. It's like a 1 year old, two at the most, baby. And I'm like, why are you yelling at this child about eating food that you left out? So it's so much negativity around us constantly, right? And I know last thing I want to do is bring that into my home, right? But I also don't want to bring that into my head. So I try to avoid negative things. I try to avoid things that's not good. That's not, I don't want to be around that. And my friend tells me that I'm living back in the days. I don't live like what it is right now. And I'm like, maybe I don't. But I keep myself surrounded in positivity. I keep myself surrounded in good things, right? Things that makes me feel good. I mean, because if I'm near you and I got this negativity, and I mean, it's like certain people you can't be around because it's like daggers. Like they're like dagger. They just negative all the time, and it's like I don't understand that. Like, well, how could you be negative all the time? But I try to stay away from people like that. And maybe I am living in my own world, but guess what? I like living in my own world because I don't have the negativity. I don't have the doubts. I don't have people around me that's trying to keep me down. I have people around me that try to keep me motivated and keep me lifted, I have a better self-image of myself, of course, now that I'm grown. And I also have this, I don't really care about what people say about me. I know I don't really care, especially if it's not going to benefit me. Because at the end of the day, what you eat don't make me poop. So it doesn't really bother me. You don't do anything for me. So it's like, why am I worried about what you say? It's nothing that you can say that can really get me to a place where I don't want to move. If anything, I'm running away from that because I just can't deal with the negativity. I can't deal with the doubts and the fears. I have my own doubts and I have my own fears. And so it's like I don't deal with it. I really don't. So I just would rather stay in light. I'd rather stay positive. I'd rather stay around people that are like-minded, like me. Um, Again, to each his own. Everybody has their own what keeps them going, what keeps them motivated. I'm not going to knock anybody for what they do. Besides, again, just like I said, I don't care about what people think about me. You shouldn't care about what people think about you either. So this video should not offend anybody. Okay, I hope not anyway. That is not my goal. My goal is, again, to bring like-minded people together so we can uplift each other and keep each other in prayer and, support each other, right? And part of that is positive thinking. We have to be positive. We have to stay in a positive place, right? With everything that's going on now. I can't say it enough. It's like you turn on the TV. I don't even look at TV like that. I used to look at the news a lot, but I found out the news is just like so depressing because only thing that's on the news is killing and death, threats, and I'm just like, I know it may seem like, well, you don't really know what's going on in the world. I know what's going on in my world. What I'm saying? What's going on out there? I'll find out eventually. I'll be able to face a threat when it comes my way, but I don't really need to know what's going on in another country because, listen, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this country with me. I just I don't have the time to think about that because, again, I want to think positive. I want to wake up. Now, every day is not going to be sunshine. Every day is not going to be rainbow. It's going to be some rainy days, right? And it's going to be some thunderstorms and sometimes a downright hurricane. Hurricane. Did y'all hear me? Hurricane and tornado. I just mushed it together. Did y'all hear that? But it could be a hurricano. How about that? Is that a new word? If somebody uses my word, that's my word. I made it up just now. But it could be, really bad, right? And we know that it's okay to cry for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And we have to make sure we stay in that joy. We have to stay in that positivity. We have to stay and we have to surround ourselves with it. Also, I'm a loner. I like to be alone because it allows me to think, right? I know some people say, well, Q, it's not good to be alone all the time. I know it's not good to be alone all the time. But if I could be alone all the time, I would. But, well, let me take that back. Not like alone completely. It's just that, I like to have my space. I hope you ladies understand what I'm saying. I like to have my space where I can just relax and be me and chill out, right? um but I know when you're in a relationship, you have me time, but you don't, you're not alone all the time, right? But everybody needs that me time where you just focus and do things that makes you feel good. Like me, it's getting my nails done. I love getting my nails done because I go to the salon and I'm there and I'm getting in my mind, I go into the nail salon and I'm getting pampered, right? They offer me tea and he's doing my nails. And sometimes I don't fell smooth asleep on him. I don't slept all day, but I don't fell asleep on the man because it just felt so relaxing, especially getting your feet done. You sitting in that chair and it's massaging you and you got that you feet in the water and Oh, it could be so relaxing and so wonderful, right? So, it just helps melt away what I've been through, right? I go on Saturday, so it helps melt away what I've been through in that week. So I could have had a pretty hard week, but just in that moment, right? It's good. It's good. I got my tea. He's doing my nails, and it's good, right? And I try to keep that positivity. Now, again, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not happy-go-lucky cute. That would be unrealistic. Okay. I am a very serious person. I take things seriously. But what I'm learning now is to stop overthinking. Stop being in my head so much, because when I get in my head and I start thinking, most of the time I'm making up stuff, right? And it could feel real, but it's really not real, right? And start communicating more, right? I am working on communicating more. That is it's an ongoing process for me, is communicating more and expressing how I feel, good or bad. Because also, ladies, you have some people that just like to pick at you, and you just remaining quiet is not going to help. You got to tell them people leave you alone, you know. And then also, you may have a situation where you need to get something off your chest, right? And I've been there, right? When you need to get something off your chest and you don't want to say the wrong things. You don't want to say something that you're going to regret or you have to apologize for. So you just stay quiet. That's not a good idea. What I'm learning is that yes, it's okay for you to, try to contemplate what you're going to say, but it's okay to just speak from your heart, and tell people how you feel, good or bad. And you don't have to curse. And now sometimes you may have to curse to get your point across, but you don't have to necessarily. Um, but if that's how you feel, do what you feel, This as long as you ain't hurting nobody physically. Okay. So that is my message for today. My message for today is to stay positive as much as you can. This world is full of negativity. This world is full of things that'll make you sad and make you cry. But try to gravitate towards the things that make you smile and that brings you a little happiness, even if it's for a little while, right? And try to gravitate towards people that is looking for that same happiness inside, because you have to find it inside of you before you can see if no one else can really make you happy, is what I'm saying. No one else can really make you happy. You have to make you happy first. You need to figure out what makes you happy, what makes you smile, right? Um, and once you find that out, then you can start bringing forth the person that can help you with that, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you don't know what makes you happy, right? Someone comes into your life and they can do something and it makes you happy for that moment, but it doesn't last long because it wears off, because it's not what really makes you happy. It's just made you happy at that moment. You have to find what makes you happy constantly, what brings you joy, what makes you smile just by the thought of it, right? Um, and most of the time that's within you, right? So once you find what makes you happy, what brings you joy, then you will start that stuff will start gravitating towards you, right? But you have to start there. You have to start with what makes you happy, what brings you joy, right? And start with positive thinking. Finding your joy, positive. Think positive. Find out what makes you happy, and find out what brings you joy, and everything else will fall into place. But until then, you're just like a spinning top going around, and eventually it's going to stop, right? So you gotta find what makes that top spin so it can keep spinning and it can keep going. Right. I don't know if that was a bad analogy or not, but that was that's what came to my mind. Okay. That will bring me joy at that moment. All right, you guys, I am going to let you guys go. I don't want to talk your head off, but I just had to share that with you because, again, I'm just learning that in recent weeks. So I wanted to share that with you, to think positive and be happy and live the best life you can, because life is short, time is limited, and you should make the best of the life and time that you have. Okay? All right, everybody. I will see you next time. And I hope everyone have a wonderful week.